I'm starting a hike here on a section of the North Country Trail. It's west of Cedar Springs, and it heads through what I believe is the Rogue River State Game Area. So I'm just planning a little day hike a few miles in, and then return back to my car. Well, this trail is well marked, it's wide and it's flat, and I'm just now walking through an area that has it's kind of a grassy area and has some crabapple trees growing. Makes it a nice springtime hike. I'm heading towards the river now, and I'm hoping that part of this trail gives me some views of what I think is the Rogue River. So we'll see up ahead. Well, about 20 minutes into my hike, I came up behind these signs. You can see it says foot traffic only, public hunting area. And this is what I'm running into, part of a road. So I guess the trail follows this road for a little ways. No, actually the trail just crosses the road. Another set of signs, and the trail continues. This must be on the edge of private property, because I'm seeing a no trespassing sign over there. And I guess this is still state land that I'm walking on. Came to a spot here where the trail crosses a little creek, and there's water flowing in the creek, and there's a log here that looks like it goes most of the way across. If I can walk out to the end of this log and then step onto that other log, then I'll be across the creek and I won't get wet feet. So here we go. I'm going to put the phone away so that I don't drop it in the water. Okay, I made it across, no problem. It was an easy couple steps. Now the trail continues through the woods. So far it's been well marked. There's blue blazes on the trees. There's one you can see. Another blue blaze straight ahead. Which you can see. And then there's something odd. It's up this tree. There's a piece of a rubber tire hanging from the tree by a wire. I have no idea what that's for, unless some kind of a bird would like to live in that. Well, continuing down the trail. Lots of pine cones through here. Just came into an area of the woods where it's not all hardwoods and there's pine trees around. At about the half-hour mark on the hike, the trail splits. Part of it goes off to the right, part of it goes off towards the west. I wasn't sure at which way to go at first, but as I look off to the left, I do see a blue blaze on one of the trees up here, so I guess this is the right way to go. The blue blazes are in good shape, so somebody's maintaining this trail and keeping it well marked. Came to a pine plantation here where the trail looks like it's going through a tunnel of pine trees that are all nice and straight. Really a pretty spot. I just came out to a clearing, and there's a gigantic pile of gravel right in front of me. Off to the left, there's a grassy hill, and a bunch of stuff with bullet holes in it. So I'm guessing that people come out here for target practice. This grassy mound right here provides a good backdrop for bullets, so it's a good spot for shooting, I guess. Up ahead there's another road. This is the first sign I've seen that is marked North Country Trail. It's just on the edge of this big gravel pile, which is probably road commission property. They probably use this on the gravel roads around here. And then right across this road, there's a sign up here that says Howard Christensen Nature Center. And I'm not quite certain where the trail proceeds from here. whether I have to go into the nature center. I'm looking for blue blazes. I'm looking for the rest of the trail. So I'm not quite sure where to go here. Well, I'm at the corner here of 18 Mile Road and Red Pine. And the sign for Howard Christensen Nature Center points down this road, and I see a blue blaze on a tree up ahead, so I guess that the trail follows this road for a while. There's the marked tree right there. And another nature center sign up ahead. Off to the side of the road here, there are piles of pine needles. They look like they're nice dry pine needles. I'm going to gather some of these up to use for fire starting later on. I plan to stop and make a small fire in my little wood stove to cook lunch. And when you decide to stop, you never know what kind of tinder is going to be right around you. So I'll grab some of this stuff now while it's handy. I like to start my fires using a flint and steel, and it requires some pretty good dry tinder to get things going with flint and steel. So I'll grab this now. After traveling down the roadside for a little while, off to the left I came to this pull-off, which looks like a area you could park your car. And then there's an NCT trail marker. So I guess the trail continues here. I'm glad to be off the road. Came to another little creek. This one has a little board bridge going across it. On one side is a pond of backed up water. Passes under the bridge and then turns into a free-flowing creek again. I think there's kind of a dam there. I don't know. There's lots of sticks and leaves and stuff, and it seems to be holding back the water, creating that pool. It doesn't look like a beaver dam. It just looks like a bunch of debris that's jammed up in a narrow spot. Well, I guess this is the Rogue River. It looks like more of a river than a creek. And looks like the trail's going to follow it for a ways. So, more picture spots ahead. Just came to the edge of a road. The trail follows along the left-hand side of the road, and the road passes over the creek or the river or whatever it is here. There's a great big pipe that carries the water underneath the road. I'm hoping that the trail goes back into the woods up ahead. Now here's where the trail continues. Another NCT marker. And the trail goes back into the woods. I guess it had to come up to the road there just so we could get across that creek. the time of the year for trillium to bloom, and I just came upon a little patch of trillium alongside the trail. It's the first I've seen here. Well, an hour and 40 minutes into my hike. Trail comes out to a clearing here. Off to the left is a spot where people have had fires and probably partied. It's right on the edge of the river here. A nice spot along the river. There's kind of an area where you could park, and then there's a two-track road that leads away from here. And I wasn't quite sure which way to go, but I walked a little ways down this two-track and I saw another blue blaze on a tree, so I guess the trail follows this road for a little ways. Well, after hiking for 2 hours, I found a place to stop. I've got my little ember-lit stove going, and I'm heating up a couple cups of water, make some ramen noodles for my lunch. Spot here right by the bank of the river. It's kind of a pretty spot. There's signs that other people have had campfires here before, so I guess other people thought it was a good spot too. Well, at this point, my phone is dying. It's showing a 10% power, and I really want to save a little bit of power for the return trip in case I need to use the GPS. So I'm going to shut it off at this point and come to an end. It was a nice hike. It was about 5 miles into the woods, 5 miles back to the car. Nice trail, nice day. I recommend this section of the North Country Trail if you just want a pleasant hike without any challenging hills or any problems. So that's it for now.